The Basement Dwellers podcast is brought to you by Dynamite Shirts. Now offering several services such as screen printing, embroidery, vinyl transfer, and even decals. Visit dynamite-shirts.com and get you some sweet custom clothing today.
Press start to continue.
They are those who live in the shadows, who feed upon Doritos and Mountain Dew. They take comfort in their dark habitats as they watch reruns of sci-fi shows long past. They are the Basement Dwellers.
Show me what you got.
So say we all. So say we all. So say we all.
Indeed. Yes. This is a fertile land and we will thrive. We will rule over all this land and we will call it this land.
Make it so.
Together, we can rule the galaxy far from sun. I want to believe.
We better get back, because it'll be dark soon, and they mostly come at night. Mostly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 3, Episode 11 of The Basement Dwellers, a bi-weekly podcast dedicated to all activities most enjoyed by those who spend their time in the deepest, darkest, and dankest of basements everywhere. I'm your host, Wes Tanner, and tonight we're continuing on with the, good start already. We are continuing on with the multi-topic format. We're going to try and talk about the latest books that Wes has read, kinda, and the trailer for the new live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie, as well as check in with Ben, the anti-bullying, mountain-climbing Marine. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow basement dwellers, Drew, and returning guest, Ben. What's up, guys?
Hey! Quite the show we have.
Yeah. Party. It's all right. We'll just see what happens. Before we get into all of it, I had like the hardest time like prepping for tonight's show, just because everything in the nerd world right now is centered around Sunday's Game of Thrones episode and Avengers Endgame that came out over the weekend. So I haven't seen Endgame yet, and I don't want to spoil anybody or spoil anything from Game of Thrones. So that like knocked out like two major topics. But
I will say for Endgame, I cried like I was watching Rudy.
Oh yeah,
Schindler's
also
List.
cried. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, there were some tears.
We'll start with that then. So you guys obviously you saw it over the weekend. Did you see it opening night or?
No, I actually saw it yesterday.
You did? Okay. Drew, you saw it opening night though.
I saw it Friday, so it's technically opening night, but not the early opening night.
How busy was it for you?
I went to the Grand Haven 9. I bought tickets online, and like when I bought mine, I was the only 2 tickets in the theater for that showing that it sold.
Really?
But by the time the movie actually played, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 open seats.
Okay. All right. So everyone was just.
I think it's mostly a lot of people don't go to Grand Haven 9 because it's not the like.
It doesn't have like
the creme of theaters.
The latest tech on it.
It's nice. It was great. $8 movie tickets.
Oh hell yeah! As opposed to I think they're 11 or 12 at Carousel.
I think they're like $12 at Carousel or like $12 at the AMC.
You said that's cheap, Ben?
That's super cheap, man.
Oh, you're used to DC prices, aren't you?
Yeah, here in DC it's like $20-25 a ticket. But all of our places, all of our theaters are all the AMC ones, where they have all the Lazy Boy recliners instead of just like the front row.
Yeah, those are Those are nice.
The whole theater is those lazy boy recliners. But I have noticed that they're starting to get smaller and smaller. In Southern Maryland and Waldorf, where I first saw them, they were huge. But now they're starting to get to like the size of regular seats. But they just got a thing that comes out in front of you for you to set your food on, and they just recline and stuff. But yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Yeah, there's one here in Grand Rapids that's AMC like that, and I both simultaneously love and hate those seats because they're very comfortable. And so when we were watching Deadpool 2, I almost fell asleep.
You fall asleep in Deadpool 2?
Because you lean back and it kicks your legs up, and it's like you're sitting at home, and all of a sudden I was just like getting tired. Okay, I gotta sit up. I can't lay down.
Right. Well, so I was there at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Speaking of sleeping, when I saw Endgame, the dude behind me fell asleep no less than 3 separate occasions.
Oh, jeez. You guys are talking over each other. Can you not hear each other?
I can't hear him at all.
Oh, no? Okay, I was wondering, because... what the hell? Well, that's not going to work. All right. I'm going to pause real quick. All right, so we had a little bit of a technical difficulty. I don't know what the fuck that was, but we're all back now. We were talking about the theaters and the new seating that's in them and everything. So, Ben, in DC, do you get to choose your seats? Like you choose them when you buy your tickets? You do? Okay. I think that was probably like the coolest thing that they did recently. I think. Oh,
absolutely.
I don't even care about the quality of the seats, but being able to choose them to where you don't have to fight with people, or you don't have to go to the movie with a group of your friends and realize that you got a whole bunch of people who are too afraid to sit next to each other. So you know,
or you get late tickets and you can't get enough seats next to each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the theaters here, you pick your own seats and everything. But they're all more expensive, obviously. I mean, it's DC. We pay $20 for a mixed drink. $10 for a Bud Light.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that's normal for us. I mean, my studio apartment's $1,700 a month.
No thanks.
Fuck that.
No thanks.
I don't even live in DC. I live in Alexandria. So,
our house payment's $900 a month.
Yeah, not here, man. Not here.
Man.
But yeah, I saw it yesterday. I will say there's moments that I don't think you realize in the other movies that you're kind of waiting for, and this one it brings it all out. And there's definitely a real summit in this one where you just kind of just let go, man. And yeah, straight up Rudy level of tears flowing.
How was the pacing? I know it's a really long ass movie. Did they keep all the action and whatnot up, or there are periods where it's good to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, it definitely kept you involved. It definitely kept your attention pretty well.
So there were some moments that were pretty boring though. I mean, they were kind of not attention grabbing, but they were few and far between.
I would agree with that. There were definitely some areas where you're like, okay, I can go pee now.
Yeah. I always have a hard time judging that.
Right.
Yeah. Drew, didn't you make it the entire way without having to go?
I did. The whole movie made it without having to pee.
What was your strategy?
I showed up with the coffee in my hand at the theater, so it was
I didn't have to pee when we got there, but I made myself pee, and yeah.
Preparing for a road trip when you're a kid?
Basically, yeah. It was Dad said, everyone go to the bathroom. I don't gotta go. We'll try anyway.
Yeah.
A little bit spittled out.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Jeez. Well, I didn't see Endgame, but I saw the new Pet Sematary, which I know, Drew, you're not into horror movies at all. I don't know about you, Ben. I don't know if you like that kind of stuff.
I'm a huge fan of H.P. Lovecraft, which kind of extenuates into being a huge fan of Stephen King.
Yeah.
And anybody who understands the King multiverse
Oh,
to really see how Lovecraftian horror had a huge influence on King's writing, and even though they're completely separate universes, you can see a huge impact that Lovecraft had on Stephen King. So by default, I'm a King fan, and kind of how intricate he makes everything, his whole multiverse centered around the Dark Tower series.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge spider web that he put a lot of thought and creativity into, and so I can appreciate that for sure. And the whole concept of Stephen King's multiverse writings kind of drew me in. So I was not a huge fan until about a year ago, and then I decided to start catching up and really fell in love with his work.
Good deal. Well, the new movie, I would say it was like almost great. I think it was probably about three. I don't know. I think movies these days have a hard time closing. A lot of things, like they either know they're gonna have a sequel, so they don't give a shit about the ending, or they just end abruptly. This one was kind of just, I don't know. If you guys are fans of like the original, like it definitely has a lot of nods to the original as far as the movie goes. I have not read the book, but the movie, I recognized a lot of the similar scenes and characters and whatnot. They do switch things around because they gotta throw you for a loop for a little bit, but it was creepy as shit. But the ending, meh, it almost ruined the movie for me. It is. It really is. You
sit through a 2-hour movie and then the end of it is just like bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense, and I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the first movie. Not as long for the second movie, but for the first movie, it's been I don't really know if I remember how the first one ends, but this one, it was just, I don't know. They just dropped the ball a little bit as far as the intensity and the creepy factor and everything. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think with movies today, you have these so much technology that these actors and stuff don't really rely on creativity as much anymore, and the directors don't rely on as much creativity because they can just put it together on a computer and make it look great, as opposed to really putting a plot line or a storyline out there to enhance the audience's imagination, as opposed to just sitting through something and watching it for sheer entertainment value.
Yeah, I can definitely appreciate that.
But I will say, when it comes to endings, I watched the last episode of Gotham. Do you guys watch that?
I haven't. I didn't really have much of an interest in it, though. That kind of gross.
They did a great job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the director came out and said from the very beginning episode and said, you will not see the cape and cowl. You just won't. It's not about that. It's about growing into what the Batman series and the DC universe kind of viewed Gotham as, which is supposed to be Newark, New Jersey, if you didn't know that, and their take on this dirty, crime-ridden city. Yeah. But it's supposed to be the precursor and what made supervillains in Gotham and why they're there and what made Bruce Wayne and what made turn him into Batman, not just his parents' death, but the whole build up to it. And from the very first episode, the director came out and said the only time you will see the cape and cowl is on the last second of the last episode of the last season. And he was right. So it was cool how you knew that it was coming, and you were just waiting for that one moment, and then it hit. And as soon as it was over, you were like, I need more. I need more right now. But they did really well. It was really well done. The character who did the Penguin drew his inspiration from Danny DeVito. Mm-hmm. The character who played the Joker kind of drew his inspiration from the video game series Joker. Okay. And then also from the from Jack Nicholson.
Okay, all right.
And so he kind of combined the two, so that you really got and those are just two examples, but you got the best of every series that's come out about Batman and all that. And I think we can all agree that most of them have been garbage. But I mean, let's face it. Like, how do you have such a successful franchise with such shitty movies?
Did you like the Christian Bale ones at all?
No. I thought Christian Bale was a terrible Batman. In fact, I would say he was my worst.
Really?
Or my least favorite.
Okay. So
I think everyone likes. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think he was just too over the top. He doesn't play the rich guy playboy. He just plays this guy with PTSD who dresses up like Batman, but you don't believe he's Batman. You just believe he's some ninja who's trying to fight crime who just pretends to be.
Well, I think everyone too likes the Christian Bale ones only because of Heath Ledger's Joker, and I think it skews a lot of it because everyone's like, "Oh, The Dark Knight's so good," and it was. I liked it. I thought it was a great movie, but like the other two were pretty.
I didn't like the Joker in that one. I thought Heath Ledger played a good villain. I think he played a good guy who's just nuts, but he didn't play a super villain. He did not make me believe that this guy's invincible, he can't die, and he's always going to have this connection with Batman. Now the new Joker in the TV show, the Gotham, he was able to do that, and he really harped on this whole how Batman is connected to the Joker throughout all time. They're always going to be connected, just like the comics did. So I think he did a better job. I really didn't like the Christian Bale series at all. I think they tried to make it too much of a. I don't know. They got rid of the plot and just let it go.
They made it too much of a real world kind of thing and not a comic movie.
I agree.
It was too grounded.
Yep. I like Ben Affleck. I think he was my favorite Batman. I gotta say.
Man,
Michael Keaton.
No way. See, here's the thing. Michael Keaton just plays this guy who looks lost the entire time.
Ben Affleck. Ben, I have to agree with you. Actually, I don't know. Now that you say that about the Christian Bale Batmans, because they were my favorite, and for the most part still are. But now that I think about him actually as Batman, that wasn't the reason why they were my favorite. Now that I think about it, and I get where you're coming from. I would say I do think that Heath Ledger did a great job, but I think that, like what Drew said, that was probably the draw of that movie.
Agreed.
Because without Heath Ledger, like the other two don't hold a candle to it. So
and I think
that should just let you know how Batman is.
I think the real difficulty in picking a good Batman is you're judging a character on playing two separate characters, right? You're judging an actor on how he plays two separate characters, how he plays the Dark Knight, and then also how he plays Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So, for example, Michael Keaton plays a pretty good Bruce Wayne, but if he were to throw on a rubber suit, you're kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Christian Bale played a good Batman, but he doesn't play this rich playboy, billionaire, right?
Yeah.
I think that's why I make the argument that Ben Affleck was the best Batman, because you can see him pulling up in some $300,000 car with like 6 girls in it, and you can see him like in it, but even in his old age, he had that big frame. You could still see him dressed up as Batman, and he kind of has that PTSD issue going on, where he's got to fight crime, but he doesn't want to kill people and all that stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing I can't see, the only reason why I wouldn't say he's the better Batman, or the best Batman, is because I can't see him training a Robin. After following the comics, I can't see him being like, all right, kid, follow me. I'm going to teach you how to fight crime.
And you know what? We have not followed our regular format, so we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we will launch into more of whatever, I guess, is what this show is going to be. So stick with us, and we'll be back in just a second.
Hey, do you want to play games for a good cause? Join Extra Life, a community of 50,000 gamers all over the world who play games to heal kids at Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Find out more at extra-life.org.
If you crave something different, if you want to listen to something new, then you need to listen to Wasteland Public Radio. What do we have? Well, we've got everything. And we're in the wasteland. And we've got these guys. So stop on by wastelandpublicradio.com. That's wastelandpublicradio.com.
Do you dream of the end of the world? Do you suffer from swollen mood, inflamed distemper, or sore mutation? Then Tomorrow's End is the pseudoscience remedy you are looking for. Listening to Tomorrow's End is proven to relieve all your post-apocalyptic desires. Listen today at Tomorrow's End at rpgstuff.net. Or find us on Facebook, iTunes, Google Play, or your nearest Raiders group.
What's up, everybody? JJ here. I'm a super nostalgic person, and one of the things that has given me so many memories over the years has been my experiences with video games. I mean, sure, I like hearing reviews, watching Let's Plays, and getting news about the latest releases, but what I really love is hearing about how gaming has affected people on a personal level. That's why I decided to start my own YouTube channel, Game Room Revival. I talk not only about games I love, but why I love them so much, and what they've meant to me over the years. I'm a retro game collector, and the games that mean the most to me are the ones that have great memories attached to them. So, if you're like me and have a passion for talking and hearing about how games have affected people personally, I invite you to come check out my YouTube channel, Game Room Revival. Thanks, and now, back to the basement.
And we're back, and we have Ben Ambrose with us. If those of you who have listened to this entire season or bits and pieces know, I believe it was our second episode, we had him on here talking about mountain climbing in the name of anti-bullying. So we have him back here, and he's going to fill us in on how things have been coming along as far as he mentioned a website that was going up to be able to accept donations and his training and whatnot. So Ben, how's it been going, man?
It's been going real good. So we just got the website up and running. It's www.climbabovebullying.com, and it's going really well. So you can make donations directly from that site, which is connected to DonorBox. It's kind of like a PayPal thing for donations. And what we're doing is I'm going to create a flag or a banner, really, that's going to go up. I've gone through a couple designs. We haven't settled on a specific one yet, but we're going to take a banner with me up to the summit of Everest, and it's going to stay up there. So it's going to actually be flown up there. But the banner is going to be signed by donors. So if you make a donation on the website or through corporate donations, which I'm working on a couple corporate donors right now, which fall under different kind of circumstances than private donations. Mm-hmm. And they'll be given the chance to sign it, even if they're not local. That's fine. I have no problem mailing it out, or I'm sure we'll be able to set up a time to meet up at some point, or I can sign the name for them. And the whole goal is to put either yourself or a loved one who had an issue with bullying or is no longer with us today because of bullying, and the name of that loved one will forever be flown at the summit of the top of the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're doing that. We're working on that. Again, we're going through a couple designs, but Climb Above Bullying is the title of the climb, and I already have one corporate sponsorship. I'm not allowed to say their name yet because we're still working on a contract, but they have taken care of all of my gear, which most of it was already taken care of anyways, but they're a professional climbing company. So I'll be working with them for gear, and then I'm working on a couple other sponsorships for for big donations. But right now, the website is up and running. It kind of gives a little history of myself, gives a little excerpt on why bullying is important to me. I'm going to also be adding a blog to the website so people can continuously check up and see how the training is going, how the prep is going, and also have some news that's specifically for bullying and anti-bullying and how it's affecting society.
Good deal, man. All right. Let's go ahead and launch into some different topics here we got. Say it's kind of hard because we're not all on the same page as far as what I have here. But recently I just finished the entire Witcher series for an audiobook. I call it reading. Other people call it being read to, but
did you read anything? Did you read words physically with your eyes?
Maybe like the titles of the audiobooks and descriptions, I guess.
Then you read a synopsis and a title, but you didn't read the book.
Okay, fine, Drew. Pop my bubble, but the point is I could write a book report on it. So, yeah. And, so that was seven books total that, I listened to. There we go. And, now I'm starting on the Dark Elf trilogy by R.A. Salvatore. All the Drizzt stuff, which I have heard about all growing up.
Wow, you're going back to the oldies.
Yeah, I was trying to find something that was set in the Forgotten Realms, just because that's what our D&D group is playing in right now, as far as like Neverwinter and the Sword Coast and everything like that. So I wanted to get some good like actual reading in, or sorry, God damn it, Drew, some listening in on the setting that I could use to either draw inspiration or just to better understand that actual thing. Because all of the D&D games that I've played in have all been homebrew type stuff, and it's only been
Do you know much about the Faerun history and kind of the social?
I'm getting there. So I highly
suggest checking out the Cormyr series. I think it's 3 books. It might be 4. The Cormyr series, that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Cormyr is a small kingdom that's nestled on the western side, so away from the Sword Coast. But it's in the middle of a trade route, right by where the High Elves, where a lot of the High Elves are from, and it's been years since I've even seen the map, but where Mithranor was from, which is a great campaign setting. If you want to take it back to the oldies, get the Mithranor box set and just turn it into whatever type of D&D game you're playing. But it's a really good adventure system. But check out Cormyr. It's kind of what you think of when you think of a D&D campaign. Very much like Waterdeep setting, but not as socially intricate with secret societies and agents of chaos or the Harpers or whatever. But the Harpers is another good one too, which kind of delves into a little bit of the workings of Faerun. Man, I was a huge Harpers fan.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sit down and look, because the whole thing with the audiobooks is that the job I work, I'm outside and on my own all day, so I can just plug in headphones and basically finish a book in a day, depending on how they record it. But yeah, so I'm quickly going through a lot of things, and yeah, my big. I finished the Witcher series, and I wanted to finish it before the new Netflix series comes out later this year, because I've only played one of the games, but I wanted to know, I'm not a book person by any means, so I wanted to get that history before I watched the show, so I could be disappointed like everybody else. But yeah. I hope I'm not disappointed.
Such a positive outlook.
I'm just gonna just call it now, because now I can finally share in that frustration that I've never had before, because I don't read. But yeah, the Drizzt books are pretty cool so far. In my opinion, not as good as the Witcher stuff, but I think that's mainly due to the fact that Drizzt is more of a your stereotypical hero figure, like coming back from an evil setting, trying to fight, trying to fight his evil impulses and be a good guy. So it's kind of driving me crazy compared to Geralt, who and in The Witcher, who is very much just, he's a good guy, but good and evil are pretty subjective in that universe, whereas at least so far, good and evil in the Forgotten Realms is pretty cut and dry. So but yeah, let's see here, what's up?
Well, I was going to say, the thing about the Drizzt books is that there's a ton of them, but they're all very quintessential, like you were saying, with this good versus evil. But he's always got who's arch enemy? I can't remember the guy's name. Artemis, I think, was his name. Who's always on his heels.
Yeah, I'm only on the second book, so right now he's just dealing with Malice and his family back in Menzoberranzan, I think is what it's called. So I haven't gotten. I gather that it kind of opens up after a while, and it's not just in the Underdark. I mean, I don't want any spoilers, but am I right there? Like he.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Very much so.
I'm looking forward to that, because I want, like I said, I want more of the Forgotten Realms, like just more of the setting, the general setting and everything. Like I'm familiar with Neverwinter, Baldur's Gate, a little bit of Waterdeep now, but and Neverwinter and Baldur's Gate are mainly just due to my experience in video games. Like I don't know anything else beyond that, but so I'm hoping I can learn some more for our D&D group, because we are following currently anyway, we're following a lot of the actual modules for 5th edition. So I'm hoping that I don't have to. I'm hoping that I can learn more as a supplement, as opposed to learning just from the adventure books. So, but yeah. But speaking of RPGs, next thing on my list here is Alien, as in Alien, Aliens, and that whole series. One of my favorite things ever. They're getting a tabletop RPG system here soon, which I am very, 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 very happy about. Again, as much as I love the movies, I wouldn't I wouldn't be able to run a faithful campaign or any type of RPG setting without some serious stuff in front of me, and I'm hoping that this provides it, because I love that stuff and love the universe and everything. So yeah, that's anybody else an Alien fan? Drew, I know you don't like horror movies. Ben, did you ever get an Alien?
I mean, I've seen them, but I was never huge.
Oh, God damn it.
I was never really into them.
All right.
Yeah, I was more into like Lovecraft and like the 19th century stuff. I was not a futuristic fan at all.
See, I go back and forth depending on my mood. But maybe this is all something that we can geek out about. Disney Plus, since Disney owns Star Wars and everything like that, they're going to be making TV shows and standalone movies and stuff like that for their streaming service, and one of them coming out is The Mandalorian, which is going to be, I believe it's written or directed by Jon Favreau, who did Iron Man and a whole bunch of other movies. You guys,
all the Avengers and all that.
So, and
yeah, he did a lot of that.
And it's being co-produced, maybe I think is the right terminology here, with Lucasfilm, actually. So George Lucas himself is actually going to be involved in some capacity with the show. I have the article pulled up here. Let's see here. Where is it at? I lost my place here.
I have the article pulled.
Okay,
Can't
yep.
find article.
No, I have the article. I was just trying. I lost my spot in it. But they're actually Favreau. He's actually trying to resist the urge to make it this bloated budget feature, and he actually says it outright that he's developing the series as a low budget affair, meaning they're going to use a lot of practical effects and practical sets, which I think any Star Wars fan could definitely appreciate. So I'm excited for that. I don't know much about like the Mandalorians. I do know that Boba Fett, which is he's a really popular character for some reason. I honestly don't know why, but he
looks cool,
I guess. But I mean, he was like one of he had like some of the least screen time for a villain ever, and somehow he got like,
that's legit it. I think it's just that he looks cool.
You think people
kind
just
of
like
gave that mystery?
Yeah, people just like created the legend around him. Whatever.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're like, that dude looks cool. Oh, he died like a bitch. All right, well, I guess we got to make something up.
No, he didn't die.
Oh, no, I know, you know. And but as far as the movies were concerned,
Sarlacc pit, he was able to get out.
Yeah, somehow.
He's got a jetpack that was only a little broken.
I mean, that's why he fell in there to begin with. So
yeah, but he could have fixed it,
I guess.
I mean, no.
Yeah, we don't know. But the series stars Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian, and Gina Carano from Deadpool. I'm not sure who that is. Emily Swallow from Supernatural. Carl Weathers from Predator. And let's see here. Omid Abtahi from American Gods. I don't know who that is. And Werner Herzog, Grizzly Man, and Nick Nolte, Affliction. So that should be pretty sweet. The plot of the show.
Yeah. That's a huge group.
Oh, yeah,
that's
for sure.
quite the cast.
Plot of the show is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. So what is that, in between Jedi and whatever the new shit, right?
Between, yeah.
Well said, the new shit.
The new shit, yeah. I don't know. I'm still going to see anything that comes out Star Wars related, but yeah.
We all will.
Yeah.
I think Abrams is going to pick up the slack on the new movie coming out. I'm hoping. Abrams, right? He's the one who's directing.
No, I think it's what is it, Ryan Johnson? I think
thought
that's
it was
him.
JJ again.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I just looked. It's
JJ
J.J. Abrams. He's the one who's directing the new Skywalker one, because they pretty much the last one they dropped the ball so bad.
Yeah.
That they said, you know what, we don't want this person back. They're trash.
Yeah, I forgot her name. Whatever. It doesn't.
Garbage make garbage director.
Not important. It's a good thing I forgot her name. It's not important. The story will follow a bounty hunter who is protecting a baby that he is initially sent to kill. Oh, that sounds cool already. Written and produced by Favreau with Dave Filoni, who is Star Wars Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Those are the animated series. That's pretty interesting. Directing the first episode and serving as executive producer alongside, oh God, this is her, Kathleen Kennedy. That's
it's her.
Oh God. And Colin Wilson. I don't know who that is. Additional directors, Deborah Chow, Jessica Jones, Rick Famui. God damn it. I don't know. Bryce Dallas Howard from Soulmates. And God damn it. What are these people? I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce names, and I don't want to butcher it, but, oh shit. Okay. The Mandalorian, which will debut on Disney Plus, is November 12th of this year. So that's pretty fucking sweet. I didn't think it would be that quick. This whole thing with Disney rolling out their streaming service and all the plans, like, they must have been just like ready to go at a moment's notice with everything, because all this shit's happening real quick, it seems. Because I feel like with their announcement of the streaming service and the fact that it's coming this year, and then all of a sudden they got a new Star Wars series coming out this year as well. I mean, I don't know. That's a lot to me. I mean, I'm happy, but it's a lot.
I'm sure it's been in the works for quite a while. I mean,
yeah. Well, it just makes you wonder how long they've been like expecting this buyout. You know what I mean? Or no? When did Disney buy Star Wars? When was that? That was a while ago, wasn't it?
It was before the new trilogy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Isn't the new trilogy's all Disney?
Yeah, it's been a while. So, but moving on to movies that nobody asked for, Sonic the Hedgehog. I just saw the the live action trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog, and I am disturbed on all levels. It's just...
It sure is a thing.
It is a thing. And I, if it's solely pandering to young children, then I will be okay with that. Because that's what... If they're not trying for that, then I feel sorry for them because that's exactly what it is. It's not like Michael Bay's Ninja Turtle reboot where that was like targeted for everybody, and regardless of your feelings towards it, I mean, whatever. But this movie looks like Michael Bay should have been the one taking it on instead of whoever is doing it now. I think it's the people who did Fast and Furious movies, but I don't know. And the most surprising part about it is that every posting that I see of all the normal nerdy websites on Facebook and everything like that, all the postings of the trailer, people underneath it are actually pretty stoked about it and pretty positive about it, which I don't understand. I guess the only cool thing about it is they have Jim Carrey in it. And he's playing Dr. Robotnik, and like that fact is cool, but from what they've showed in the trailer, I don't know if it's going to be that cool. I don't know. Drew, I know you saw the trailer. What did you think?
It looks a lot like it's just going to be a kids movie.
I'm hoping for that.
I fully agree.
Which makes sense why wouldn't it be? But the story sort of lends itself to that. But Jim Carrey looked interesting. I mean,
at the very end scene of the trailer, when he's he's hairless and he puts like the Robotnik goggles and he looks like, yeah, exactly. Like before that, he looked like what was it? The Rocky and Bullwinkle villain, the Boris. I think
Boris.
that's the vibe that I got from him.
Yeah. Early, like the first time you see him, he just looks like generic military villain.
Yeah,
generic scientist villain. Like there's nothing special about him.
Yeah, but in trailers how they usually like play up the humor, and it just wasn't there. Like there's like nothing that's like grabbing me in to even check it out, like even with my kid. Like I don't know, it's not something that I would choose to bring my 4-year-old daughter to, and not because of any type of violence or anything like that, because my kid's badass and she'll watch anything, but it's just, I don't even know if she would find it funny. Like I don't know, like the trailer, there was just no hook to it. And
yeah, it's not very like attention grabbing. It's just kind of there.
Yeah. Like it's very vanilla, like very plain and boring. And I don't know why it's set in like modern times. Like I don't know why they want to shove Sonic into 2019, like actual 2019. Like it just doesn't, I don't know. I could go on all night about it, but I won't, because it's just... But speaking of more live action movies based on cartoons, did any of you guys see the Aladdin trailer?
Yep, I saw that one.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually kind of into it a little bit now.
I am too. I gotta say, I am too.
I wasn't
like I
wasn't
hated it
to
at
start.
first.
Yeah, exactly. When they revealed
now,
like Will Smith as the genie, and that was like a big thing for a while, and like Jafar as a fucking hunk, and like like all that shit, and then like I had left a bad taste in my mouth for a long time, but the latest trailer just came out for it, and it looks just as good as any other Disney live action remake, I think. So I think
Will Smith has some big shoes to step into.
Yeah.
To fill Robin Williams' place.
Yeah.
But I think if anybody, he's the guy to.
You think so? See, I
do.
I think it's a bit of a shift for me. His style of humor is, I think Will Smith's style of humor is maybe around the same level of iconic as Robin Williams, but they're two different veins. You know what I mean? And
you're absolutely right, but I think Will Smith is the kind of person to respect the humor that Robin Williams brought to the screen.
Yeah.
And I think he's able to combine what Robin Williams had and then his kind of humor where he just throws in his little quips here and there. And really come up with something that's respectful of what Williams did before.
Yeah, I can get that, and like I said, the latest trailer definitely changed my mind, or changed my impression of how it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a great movie, but it's definitely not going to be the dumpster fire that I had originally thought that it could have been. I don't know.
Well, Aladdin itself wasn't hugely changing either.
No, but it's still a classic. I think I don't know. I think I am happy overall that Disney is doing live action remakes. Because to me it kind of keeps the magic alive, and it does offer a maybe not a retelling, but another angle as to you got to think about when they're doing stuff like Little Mermaid and they got the Lion King coming out too. It's like how faithful is that going to be to the cartoons? That's what I'm interested in, as far as like how they keep it similar but different at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right, so, like Beauty and the Beast and how it was almost line for line the same.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I love that about it. They add a couple little things into it, but for the most part, they keep it right along the same. Everything else is the same lines, the same ethos, the same everything for the cartoons. So I like that, and I'm pretty sure Aladdin will probably do the same thing.
Yeah, it looks like it. I mean, they kept the Never Had a Friend Like Me song, and it sounds like it's going to be pretty similar. I was a bit disappointed with Be Our Guest in the Beauty and the Beast one. I think that one kind of fell short a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right on that.
But
now, see, the Lion King, I'm disappointed that they didn't get some of the original characters to come back to do. I mean, they got, James Earl Ray, but
Jones.
Jones. Sorry, but they didn't get the
Whoopi Goldberg or
they didn't get Whoopi Goldberg. They didn't get who's the guy who played Scar with that real
Jeremy
rough
Irons.
voice? Jeremy Irons. They didn't get Jeremy Irons to come back.
Yeah.
That would have been my first call.
Yep, lost opportunity right there. He's still around, right? He's still alive and kicking
still around.
And making movies and
whatnot. They probably could have offered Jonathan Taylor Thomas some money to come back. If
Matthew Broderick. I mean, I can't think of. I mean, I don't know.
Was Matthew Broderick in it?
Yeah, he was adult Simba.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, they could have easily gotten him. He's not making any money right now. He's a nobody now.
He's probably like,
when your best movie was Ferris Bueller's Day Off from the 80s.
It's probably like, what the fuck, guys? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but most of these characters are still alive. Why didn't they get some of these original ones, So we've got the same voices coming out instead of whoever the hell they got.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're... I haven't looked into it too much. Let's see what else is Disney doing. I know they're doing Little Mermaid, and they're doing Mulan, and they're doing another one that I thought was a little surprising. I just can't remember what it was. Maybe it was Little Mermaid. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but that actually brings me to the end of my list here. So, do either of you guys have anything quick to tack on here before we wrap things up? We're like almost at an hour, so no.
I'm good for me.
No,
yeah,
I think I'm good.
No. Okay. Well,
I know. No, I do have one. Did you see they're making an Alfred movie?
Wait, as in Batman,
I did.
Alfred?
Yeah.
As in Batman's butler, Alfred. They're making him into a movie.
Yeah, so it's about how the dad, meets him and hires him, and why he's so connected to the family.
See, I like Batman, but I don't think I like Batman that much.
Right, I'm with you on that. Like, I like knowing that Alfred's there. He's the butler, but he's also kind of the father figure behind Batman. But at the same time, I don't really care about his backstory at all.
Yeah.
Not a bit.
I don't know what they're... Are they just
how about the new Joker movie?
Yeah.
DC makes some weird, movie choices.
They really
do. The new Joker movie, I think they picked the worst guy in the flippin' world to play the Joker.
Really?
Really? Because I'm really excited for this Joker movie. Because I love Joaquin Phoenix. So,
I do too, but I think he's going to do a terrible job as the Joker. He's going to play some guy who's down on his luck, who turns to crime, and somehow or another he becomes a supervillain because that's what fate meant him to be.
See, I think this
I'm
movie
just
looks like they're setting it up to be
with you on this one. Yeah.
This movie, it almost looks like, at least from the trailers, it looks like they're setting him up to be like an anti-hero. Like, he almost seems like he's not villain at all.
Well, they've got to eventually make him the villain. I mean, it is put on by DC, but it's it reminds me a lot of the Christian Bale movies, where it tried to make it too. Here we're back to Christian Bale again, but it tried to make it too realistic.
I'm just gonna call this episode Batman Rantings.
There you go.
Bat ranting. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I am pretty excited for that movie. I think it looks great.
I mean, I'll go see it, but that's my guess.
I love the actor. So, yeah, he does look like an anti-hero and not a villain, which is probably my biggest gripe with it. But other than that, I'm pretty stoked for that one.
Well, isn't it based off of an actual specific storyline that is kind of set? It's more of like a gangster crime type. No,
not that I know of. No.
Yeah, maybe I'm just making that up. I thought I had heard that somewhere. I don't know. I'm not really. I don't
know. The problem with the Joker is he has so many origins that they all get mixed together because there is no specific. This is the Joker's origin story. There's a different telling every time it's told.
Yeah. That's frustrating. So, yeah, we will leave everybody with that, and we will say goodnight for this episode, TBD Season 3, Episode 11. We got one more to go. Have no idea what we're going to do for it, but couple weeks, you'll hear from us again. So, thanks, Ben and Drew, for showing up. Andrew, that's actually your name.
I laughed about it.
Yeah. Oh, lame joke.
I giggled.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. We love you. We will see you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.